Hello, welcome to Stewardship Week 5. Today we're going to hear from Joseph Yamulla and James Graham about their experiences at St. George's. Then we will get an update from the Children's Ark Executive Director, Krista Killeen, and Board Chair, Lori Sweeney. But first, an update on the progress of St. George's Stewardship campaign. We have received 55 pledges totaling $142,393. We are thankful for the generosity of our parishioners. However, we are plateauing and need to rally with only 2 weeks to get to our goal of $288,000. On to our chat with Joe and James. All right, good morning. So we are here with James and Joe, and we're going to talk about their life in the church up until now, their experiences, and what they see for the future. So actually, why don't we start with Joe? So Joe, how were you raised? Were you raised as an Episcopalian, or?
I was not. I was raised as a Roman Catholic in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I went to college at a liberal arts college, so I would try to go to some Catholic services while I was there. But then I didn't really find like a true parish home. Obviously, while I was in college, I'm only there for a few years, and then after college, me and my now wife were in the city, and we were bouncing around, and years went by, and we finally set up roots here. And we live in Bryn Mawr. We live right down the road by Coopertown Elementary, and we found St. George's. And I actually had never even been to an Episcopal church. It was my wife's idea to try it, and as soon as I stepped in, I felt at home. I loved it. It was just like a very welcoming, comforting place that I just immediately felt like a part of the community.
That's amazing. James, what about you? How were you raised?
So I was baptized in the Church of England and then never went to church. And it was only through my now wife, Elizabeth, that I came back to the faith. She's Roman Catholic, and I went to services with her, but I never really felt at home there. I grew up in this area about 3 minutes from St. George's, and I probably passed by this beautiful building 1,000 times and just never gave it a second thought until I was looking for a church home. I knew I wanted to be part of the Anglican Communion, to be connected back to England, where I was born. And I came in, snuck in, sat in the back pew at an 8 a.m. service, and just immediately loved it and felt really comfortable here. And they haven't got rid of me. So I keep coming back.
That's I don't think we would ever get rid of you. How did you come to sing in the choir? Did you sing in high school or college?
So I sang in high school, took a hiatus from college because I didn't really know anyone. I commuted in, so I wasn't really particularly involved with college campus life. But I have always loved singing. That was the one thing that I kind of missed about the 8 a.m. services was the music.
Yeah.
So I decided to come to 10 a.m. and just fell in love with the organ and Anglican chant and the music that we do. So I decided I'd like to be part of that. And Luke Carroll let me in.
That's great. And we're just talking to Roberta and Eileen about how much we need more choir members, so people should feel.
If you sing at all, come.
Yeah, I think
please.
It's a good message.
We rehearse on Thursday evenings, 7:30 p.m.
Excellent. So one sort of larger question I have for both of you is that I think in this day and age, it is so rare to see young men who embrace their faith so openly and seem to be really putting it in the center of their lives. How do you feel in terms of friends and sort of your life outside of church? Is it something that you feel people understand, or how do you convey that?
So it's something that I was I'd never really discussed previously with friends. I'd always kind of had these questions about what else there was, what was greater than us, and it took me 30 odd years to figure out that something was God. And now that I've been more formed in the faith, I do talk about it more openly with friends whom I've never discussed religion before or faith, and the reception's really been positive. Nobody's really pushed back on it. I mean, they're curious, they have questions, they certainly are interested in my journey from atheism to to being an Episcopalian. But it's just been positive. I've had really good conversations with friends about it.
Yeah. How about you, Joe?
I think that I'm starting to really see a shift in like, and I don't know if it was the pandemic or just over the last 5 to 10 years, like I have noticed a shift, and a lot of it too is just me being very comfortable in who I am. Like I know like this is who I am, this is what I believe, and I'm very open about that. And I find that like when I am open about that, other people also start to open up a little bit, because I don't know what it was over like my, my teenage years where it seemed like we were all living such a secular life, but over the last 5-10 years, maybe it's just been me like embracing who I am and what I believe. But I have noticed like a shift, especially in those like surrounding me. Like they are very open to it. People are curious, and I think the world is growing, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I agree with both of you. And I think one thing that St. George's and other Episcopal churches have to offer is the beauty and the formality of the service. It's so centering. That's great. Now, James, you're taking this all a step further. And do you want to talk about that and tell us sort of the journey that you've started? And
sure. So I have recently been accepted by the bishop and the Commission on Ministry as a postulant to the priesthood. So my shift from atheism to attending church to now, God willing, being a minister of the word in the future, I think came as a bit of a shock to my family. But it's every step of the way I've just felt pulled further into faith and into love and knowledge of God and Jesus. And I am very blessed to be in a position now where I hopefully get to go through seminary formation and then eventually be an ordained leader and minister and share that love and celebrate the Eucharist with others.
that is so exciting. I guess it's more of a swing than a shift, but
Perhaps.
it's great, and I think we're all really excited to see you progress. Tell me about how your role in helping James, go through the process of discerning whether or not to go forward.
So I was very grateful to be included in the group that Father Joel assembled to kind of join James in his discernment journey. It was months long. I couldn't tell you how many weeks. Over 10. Yes, over 10 weeks. Over 10 weeks where we would meet weekly or bi-weekly, and every week James would have like a certain spiritual prompt to like dive into his spiritual life and his relationship with Christ and his relationship with God. And he would share just very deep reflections of why, like what he believes, why he felt called to this path. And basically it was our decision to determine like, do we believe as like representatives of the church he's a good person, like a good fit to go through with this? And the answer was a resounding yes.
Yeah.
We all, as soon as we met James, we just knew. But we took the process super seriously. Like even though in my first meeting with James, I'm like, this is a yes, but every week it was so, we took it very seriously and like put a ton of time and work into it. And it was just great for like, not only for James' own growth, but for each member of the PDG. Like I found that I was able to grow a lot in faith as well.
That's great. Well,
And they did a lot of work.
they did a lot of work.
We also did a lot of eating.
We did a lot of good foods.
Oh well, good. I
Good
mean,
foods.
if you're gonna work, you may
Yes.
as well be fortified along the way. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and always great to see you. And we continue to wish James all the best on his journey.
Right. Thank
Join
you.
the choir.
Join the choir. The Children's Ark at St. George's was launched by our parishioners on October 4th, 1995 to meet the community's growing need for high-quality childcare. We are incredibly proud of the Ark's continued growth, and today we'll hear more about their recent progress from Lori Sweeney and Krista Killeen. This is a great opportunity to speak with Lori Sweeney and Krista Killeen. So Lori has been the chair of the Children's Ark Board for almost 6 years, right?
Almost.
Almost. And then Krista came on soon after as executive director. So I think, Krista, this is the first opportunity I think most of our parishioners would have had to meet you. So why don't you let us know a little bit about yourself and your background and how you came to the Ark?
Sure. So, hey, everybody. My name is Krista Killeen. I started here in October of 2019. I'm from Delaware County, right in Broomall. Right now, I reside in Havertown with my husband and son. I've been in the education field, God, it seems like half of my life by now. I went to Westchester, obtained my degree in elementary ed. Initially thought that I'd want to work with elementary school students, but then I fell in love with early childhood education. So I've worked in for-profit organizations and nonprofits before coming to the Ark. And yeah, I landed here. I so enjoyed the close-knit school that the Ark gives to the community. And I've been very happy with all the staff and Father Joel and Lori and everyone else that I've interacted with the church. So I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So give me a breakdown of how many families are there, how many kids, what the landscape looks like today.
Yeah, so our license capacity is 86 children. Currently with part-time children, we have over 90. We have about 80 families, and most of them are from the Haverford area. So very local. And, you walk outside, go to the grocery store, there's a family from the Ark. So it's very community-based.
Excellent. And, among the innovations that have happened since you and Lori kind of came into leadership was the expansion to the kindergarten enrichment program. So how many kids are doing that now, and what does that look like for those families?
Sure. The capacity of the program is 12 students total, 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon. When it first started, we only had transportation to and from Coopertown Elementary School. With the help of a couple of current Ark families, they fought with the superintendent and the district. The next year, we got transportation to and from Chestnut Wald as well. And this year, we actually started getting transportation to and from all of the elementary schools in the Haverford School District. So it's really expanded. We're known to be one of the best in the area. We have highly qualified staff, very small classroom sizes, and the ability to do a lot of small group instruction, which is very important for the social and emotional development of the children.
Yeah, I know that the Ark is the best in the area. It certainly was when my children were there several years ago, but since that time, you guys have really gone from strength to strength. So you've got your Keystone 4-stars, and you've got a lot of other innovations and improvements for faculty. So, maybe if you, Lori or Kristen, either of you could tell everyone about what the Keystone Stars program is and the emphasis that you've placed on staff education and development.
Sure. So the Keystone Stars program, it's a quality assurance program in the state of Pennsylvania to ensure that ECE, early childhood education centers, are up to a certain standard. You can get between a 1 and a 4-star, 4 being the highest, which we achieved 3 years ago, actually now. So they come in and they assess the entirety of the program. They look at our staff qualifications. They look at our curriculum, our assessment tools. They come in and see the classrooms to make sure we have enough materials and that our playground is sufficient. And so we are very happy and proud of our staff, and we're continuing to maintain that 4th star. We're up for another redesignation in the summer of next year, and we will definitely continue with that star 4. It's also helped us participate in scholarship programs for our staff. We've had about 8 staff members participate in a scholarship program called Teach, where the Teach scholarship program covers 90% of their tuition to go back to school to obtain either an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. So we give the teachers time outside of the classroom here to get their schoolwork done. And it's just been so successful, and it's been a very helpful having the students get time in school to get their schoolwork done, and they're helping us here. They're learning stuff in school and they're bringing it into the classroom, and it's beneficial on both ends.
That's fantastic.
Also, I'd like to note we are the only 4-star Keystone 4-star school in Haverford Township. And there's a lot of childcare facilities. So that's a great designation. And it was not easy to get. It is not just filling out a piece of paper and asking for it. The requirements are very stringent. They're difficult to get, and that's why there's so few of them. And I'd like to say that we were able to get that ahead of schedule due to the diligence of Krista and Courtney, who is our assistant director. And it's a great accomplishment, and we are blessed to have that.
We would have
Absolutely.
been there if it wasn't for COVID. Right after I jumped on board, what was that? October 2019. It was a few months later, the whole COVID pandemic came about and pushed things back a little bit. But once things settled down, we were able to get back on pace.
And
you
I'd like to
guys-
say something, excuse me, Sam.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something too. During the pandemic, we were blessed to be in a financial situation that we were able to keep all of our teachers employed during the pandemic. So we didn't lose anybody. Many childcare facilities have crashed and burned. They had to close after the pandemic because they couldn't pay their staff, and their staff have gone elsewhere. But because of that commitment we made to our staff, we were able to keep them all, keep them paid. And Krista very, smartly had them use that time that they were on the payroll, but the center was closed, to get all their continuing education, and make sure that, everything they needed to open up and be successful when the order was lifted, we were able to do. And that's made a huge difference in our success and our continued success, and able to keep the ARC going strong with long wait lists. And a lot of people want to get into the ARC because of the quality that the children are receiving.
That's amazing. And of course, we're very proud to have such an outstanding facility associated with St. George's. It's been amazing. Now, Krista, I see that you are sitting in a very different looking spot from my days at the ARC. You've gone through a number of renovations. Why don't we hear about those, and how has that gone? And also, do you have plans for further renovations, expansion? What does the ARC need to keep succeeding?
Sure. So I think our first biggest renovation was that playground outside, and that was a few years ago, where we installed, top of the line playground equipment with the playground company Compan that does a lot of other playgrounds in our area. We put down turf. It's so beautiful out there. If you haven't seen it, look over the fence. But that's been very successful. And then this whole huge lobby remodel, which was an adventure a couple of years ago. We put in this private office here, a little reception desk. We put in a teacher's lounge because our poor teachers had nowhere to get their schoolwork done, nowhere to do their lesson plans, nowhere in private to eat their lunches. They were plopped in the main lobby at a little picnic table. So we've created a space for them to succeed as well. It's just fresh paint, top of the line, a bathroom down here. I don't know if you've seen it, but our subway tile in the toddler bathroom makes me jealous. I wish I had that in my own home. But yeah, we're constantly doing renovations. The floors are all redone, new rugs. Would like to do that stairwell at some point, but that's another adventure that we'll have to plan out for. I think the only thing we really need to get these things done is the funds, obviously, and the space. We don't have a lot of other space to utilize here. We're pretty much taking over what we can. Our wish list, if something wonderful happens down the road and we get space and we get a lot of funds, would be to create some sort of gross motor room that the children can use in the event of poor weather, some sort of gymnasium where we can have little bikes set up and little soccer nets and whatnot. But that'll be years down the road, probably.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump into, the church had the unfortunate incident of being flooded during Hurricane Isaias. And that was actually a blessing to the ARC, because we were able to gut the first level and add more space for children and upgrade it. And we were able to get rid of carpeting. So we've really taken every single room, the infant room, the young toddlers, the preschool rooms, and we have redone them, added better flooring, more storage, age-appropriate equipment. So really every single classroom has been updated and upgraded. So again, it just makes it for a better place for the children. It's a better place for the employees to work. Happy employees, happy kids, happy parents.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Krista, we like to keep tabs on Father Joel a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about what his involvement is with the kids and the sorts of things that go on with him?
Sure. So having him right next door is a blessing for us and probably not so much for him sometimes. But whenever we need anything, he's here for us. He comes in every Monday morning to read to our preschool and up children. I know now he reads to my son, and my son comes home every afternoon to say, "Oh, Father Joel read us this story and this and that," and he's my friend. So it's just so helpful having him there, and he's so supportive, and he would do anything for the Ark. And we truly appreciate him and Lori and everyone else at the church's support.
Well, we love you guys for sure. Lori, this is as you're coming into your hopefully, I hope for you,
Final year of
last
board.
year as board chair. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the St. George's members who are on the board and what they're up to and what your hopes for the Ark's future are?
Well, I believe my term is up in July. I have agreed I could stay on the board as another capacity if the bylaws allow it and if it's wanted, but definitely not leading the board. But having the church members, I mean, the Ark and St. George's, you can't separate them. You can't have one without the other. And the support that the church gives to the Ark is immeasurable. And also the Ark supporting financially the church with rent. It's a great relationship. We are definitely codependent on one another, and one couldn't succeed without the other. But having board members that are church members, I just feel that people really have a vested interest in the success of the Ark by having, many board members of the church. We do have some at-large members as well, and with years of child care experience. And our treasurer, Jim Brown, we have, teacher reps and we have parent reps. So we're just really getting a good overall leadership in terms of the success of the Ark. And again, the success of the Ark is the success of the church. And the Ark is the church's biggest outreach organization. So I think that is it's so important that we're making sure that the church members knows what a vital part of St. George's, the Children's Ark, actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I wanted to talk to you guys today for two reasons. So that just to impress upon them again how vital you guys are to our mutual success, but also that you really are an organization for us to take great pride in and to continue to support as best we can. And I know it's a tough job, Lori. So I think you've done a spectacular job. Krista, you've done a wonderful job. And I think just, thank you from all of us for doing what you're doing.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Have a great day.